Someone dropped this package at our front desk for me. They didn't leave a name or contact info. It contains internal fire department documents and this thumb drive with hours of video that lead to one very important question. Do public officials have a duty to tell you the truth? The anonymous source provided airport surveillance videos of ASIANA Flight 214 cartwheeling down the runway.
214 heavy, emergency vehicles are responding.
The air traffic control radio traffic.
All runways are closed, airport is closed, San Francisco Tower.
That video shot by a crane operator high above the scene.
I saw him coming in low, and his tail, he didn't quite make the runway.
And more than 2 hours from a camera attached to San Francisco Fire Battalion Chief Mark Johnson's helmet. It captures the moment Johnson realized fire crews made a terrible mistake.
Oh my God.
2 of the massive aircraft rescue and firefighting trucks rolled over 16-year-old passenger Ye Meng Wan.
She got run over. She was already lying there when we got here.
You can see the tire tracks right there.
Yeah.
Too. So we're gonna go.
I mean, happens, you know.
The San Mateo County coroner later concluded she was alive before the trucks ran her over, and the videos show a timeline of mistakes confirmed by NTSB documents. 11:28 a.m., the aircraft comes to a stop, the chutes deploy, passengers scramble to safety. 11:36, firefighters see Ye Meng Wan in a fetal position. They assume she's dead without ever touching her or taking vital signs. They don't move her to safety or put up warning markers. They direct Rescue 10 around her. The driver begins foaming the plane and apparently forgets Ye is there. At 11:50, he drives the truck over her. 12:01, Rescue 37 sprays the plane into parts, also rolling over Ye Meng Wan, crushing her head. It takes Battalion Chief Mark Johnson nearly 2 hours to tell the command staff what happened.
Somebody got run over. One of the passengers in the airplane, clearly one of the fire department rig ran over her.
That's right.
What? Without a doubt. Without a doubt.
Next stop, Fire Chief Joanne Hayes White.
See, there's a woman there that's been run over by one of our rigs.
Is it near one of the rigs now?
No, this happened early.
Hayes White says she wants to see the body.
Is she like crushed?
Her head is like someone dropped a pumpkin.
Hayes White orders the rigs to remain in place so the investigation can begin.
A lot of the plane was on fire.
Yet at news conferences that same day.
Our crews made valiant efforts. We're actually on the plane.
And the next day, she doesn't mention the terrible accident.
It was a well-coordinated effort. Training totally pays off.
In fact, Hayes White takes it a step further.
Everything worked as best as it possibly could have yesterday.
Everything worked as best as it possibly could have? Was that accurate from what you knew?
From what I knew, yes, it was.
I questioned Chief Hayes White before a Fire Commission meeting last week, and she defended not telling the public the whole story. So a fire truck running over a passenger is the best that you could do?
That was not confirmed at that time. It was.
Your own man told you that she was run over.
It was reported. And it's all part of an investigation at that time.
Only after those news conferences and repeated questions from reporters did the chief confirm the unthinkable: an airplane passenger run over by a fire truck. Stanford political science professor Bruce Kane has taught classes on ethics. It's his opinion that Hayes White's actions were irresponsible.
She was trying to cover up what was going on, trying to make a situation seem rosier than it really was.
And Kane tells me that could undermine people's faith in government.
What she should have done at the very least is say, there was an incident, we're investigating why it happened, and what our responsibility for this person's death was.
I've talked to both current and former public officials and ethics professors who say this is a clear-cut case that you should have been up front with the public.
And it's easy for them to stand there and say that when, again, everything was under investigation.
The chief tells me she wanted to wait until the investigation confirmed what happened, even though she saw the victim's remains in the tire tracks. I reached out to that battalion chief who wore the camera on his helmet through his lawyer. He still works for the department, but he did not return my phone calls.
This raises a lot of questions.
Yeah, it does. And 5 years later, you know, you wouldn't think you'd have more questions, but surely it does.
And we're all parents. It's so sad. The girl who was run over was one of 3 Chinese students, right?
Exactly right.
And they were trying to study here. It was so sad.
Well, the video tells the story. Great reporting. Thank you.
Great job.
Thanks.